when we were doing research, we realized that there is no imagery or footage available of the night. So everything had to be created by us. We have to make it believable for you. So if we don't create it in a certain world, that world has to look like it belonged to that night. First we wrote film script and it was like say 130, 140 pages. And then when we were like, okay, what if we have to make this? And then to make this into a feature film, we would have to like remove a lot of elements. And that's when Adisa, Ayush and myself found ourselves losing things we really loved. And I think that's when the whole thing came that Adisa was like, why don't we do this as a show? And Varya was looking to step into streaming.
इतने लोगों को बचाएंगे कैसे हम लोग? जल्द से जल्द सबको यहाँ से निकालना होगा। वरना ये भोपाल जंक्शन कब्रिस्तान बन गया।
Like in terms of the pre-production for something like this, there's research, and the research goes into colors, fabrics, materials like of that time, of what existed in that era. Also because it's 84, it seems like it is 40 years ago, but there's a whole generation out there who vividly remembers it. So you got to be true to it. So it goes into that. Like in terms of storyboards and all, of course we drew like, I don't know, thousands of storyboards. Also there's a lot of like action and people and all of that. So the prep was intensive. Action. The predominant set is obviously the railway station, Bhopal Junction. I remember being in a pre-production meeting when we decided to make this series, and I just threw this in the room and I was like, Achha, build a railway station out because we'll have the trains coming up and down and we need like 1,000 feet, 2,000 feet, whatever, ground for it or whatever. It just sounds silly. Now that I've done it, it feels like, yeah, railway station. But when I remember that time, it was like, railway station aap banaoge? And I remember them just being like, yeah, okay, cool. So it was so like realistic and so well done, and kudos to Rajat, who's my production designer. Rajat is a master of what he does, and he really like took care of that every minute detail of this set. I think we started casting with the character of the station master, and when we were casting for that, we wanted someone who fit that stature, who could really like be like a leader, but he also had to play this character a bit strict because of whatever he's going through in his personal life. And I think that led us to KK Sir just by the fact that we wanted someone with that personality.
कौन है यहाँ पे सुपरवाइजर?
हमारे स्टेशन मास्टर बोलिए। हमारे काम में ध्यान बट नहीं सकता क्योंकि दोबारा ध्यान से देखने का मौका नहीं मिलता।
When we were looking for Rati Pandey, we wanted someone with a certain kind of on-screen charisma. There's this very big speech that the character has to give and really like motivate people to go into their like walk towards their death literally. When we were kind of sketching this out, he had to be like KK Menon in the sense he had to have that kind of personality, but he had to be the other side of the coin. Where KK is strict, this guy had to be a leader and with the people. And we really wanted someone who could get us that. And I think I remember Adi sir came up with when he said, what if we go to Maddie? And that's how we went to Maddie sir.
ऐसे में दूसरों की मदद करने कोई मूर्ख ही जाएगा या फिर कोई अपना.
When we are casting for the Express Bandit, we want someone mischievous, and obviously he comes from the world of Mirzapur, playing the infamous Munna Bhaiya, and obviously I loved him in Mirzapur, and I thought it would be amazing to have someone like that. And I remember Shanu Sharma, who's our casting director, recommended this name. And Adi and me both were like, he'll never do it because on paper maybe the Express Bandit's role was not that kind of etched out, and it had to be something that I had to build with the actor. So I thought he'll never do it. But I think when I offered it to Divyendu, I think he was so moved by the story. I think he just said yes, and it worked out.
27 डकैती के मामले में शामिल the Express Bandit.
I wanted someone who's like, kind of like a new creature for people to discover. Like that's how I wanted him because, he belongs to the slum, the basti. He's the only typical Bhopali in the so I didn't want someone who people would see and feel like they've seen a new and they've not discovered this world before, because he's going to really take you into that world of the basti and the factory. And I remember I'd seen him on Instagram. He had not done anything yet. I liked his look and I thought it was quite like innocent, and he had this curly hair and everything and all. I remember Shanu spoke to him then. I did a couple of readings with him, and I think that's how Babil happened. Yeah.
ये मेरी बस्ती है, मेरा शहर है. कुछ हुआ लोग मेरे मरेंगे.
We started the post in May 2022 and we delivered the masters to Netflix in October 2023. We edited for about 7-8 months, get this world together, and we'd have Adi sir always come in and give feedback and like try to build this all together. But yeah, editing was a lot of fun, very stressful, but I think we managed, and every small decision matters. Background score of this was done by this gentleman named Sam Slater. Sam is the music producer on Chernobyl and Joker. The visual effects team is from Sweden. They work in a city called Gothenburg in Sweden. Filmgate did the visual effects. The BGM was done by Sam, who's an Englishman a Britisher living in Germany. Main coloring was done by an Italian named Walter, who came to India to color. We had everyone from everywhere coming together to tell this story. And then of course Netflix, which is in 190 countries. And so I think everyone just came together and understood the sheer importance of what we're trying to do and help us do that. So I think it was amazing.